2020 is not bad, eh? For fast paced.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad they invented 2020, you know? Because even the 1 day can be a bit long. But I can't stand tests, man.
What? Nah,
5 days? Oh.
That's the best form of cricket.
Nah, man.
It's just cricket, man. That's the real form, bro.
Yeah, it's like...
It shows you have to be a consistent team.
And it shows how real you are to the game, eh? But
See,
yeah,
T20 is like those guys who just... Oh, can I finish your box? And
Yeah. Good for day drinking.
Well, if the game starts at 6, I'm going to be on by 8.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming in, Spence.
Yeah, no. This is live or you gonna edit?
No, edit.
Oh,
Always edit.
Yeah. Well, we don't really edit much now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just go raw.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think because we've got used to this now.
Yeah.
So we know. Like, but you should have seen our early stuff, man.
Yeah.
We'll be like, cut that bit out there.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Try to make it perfect there.
Yeah.
I
But
think
now it's just, I think people enjoy just
Yeah.
it
Just,
being
keeping
real.
it real.
because the earlier ones, when they edited it, it's like take ages. Like I
Yeah,
think
bro,
it took longer than the recording itself.
Yeah.
But now, man, I try and get to that stage where you just don't worry about it.
Yeah. And we were usually drunk.
Yeah.
So the first, if you listen to them, rough as guts, man, because, you know, you start off like, and then... Yeah. So what, Messi, eh? You're a Messi kid?
Yeah, I was like brought up and raised in Te Aratu, then we moved out to Messi. So yeah, just been brought out west all my life.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
It's funny because all the chefs that we've had on, they're all... The reason, you know, why we like really love these guys coming on is because we like them repping, you know, West.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, out there, I remember asking Charles, is there a big thing, like, you know, you're in the chefing industry, is there a big contingency or a lot of Westies in that? Are you aware of any, or?
Like just through my experience, I've only been in the kitchen for 2 years, just over 2 years actually, and there's a lot of like foreigners. Like at the moment, there's a stronghold of Koreans and Indians. Yeah, and it's pretty rare to come across a Pacific Islander chef on the main line. But usually, if you do spot the PIs, they're doing pot wash and just all the hard labour.
I used to do that. That was a Becker house.
Yeah.
I done that for 3 years.
Yeah.
I remember. I think I must have lost about 20 kgs, man.
Yeah, man. Oh.
So let's be vela.
Yeah. So, like in my opinion, they're the hardest workers in the kitchen, and just always getting pumped and just getting all the like peeling the potatoes, carrots.
Yeah.
Just all the hard jobs, eh? Like,
it's those jobs that no one wants to do.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was end up doing the pots and that. Well, all islanders, you know, and some of the Māori also and that. But man, I just remember like the first day. So I was working with my mum.
Yeah.
And she was, because I was just, you know, bumming around after school. And she was like, if you don't get a job in the next 2 weeks, you're out.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, actually, I got you a job. So I went and I thought, what's your bed? You know, only after that first shift, I went home. I slept right until the next shift, man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's work, man. And then it's just so hot in there, reels.
Yeah. It's like, especially in the pot wash area, you're always working with hot water. So
Yeah.
And not only you're sweating, you're getting wet from the the steam.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what restaurant are you at the moment?
I'm working at Soul Bar and Bistro, just over in the viaduct. It's, this is, well, rewind 3 years. I was working at just in a factory, and then just always had a passion for food. So I asked my wife at the time if I could study like becoming a chef or just working with food. So she gave me a blessing, and so I was looking online and I found some night classes at New Zealand Food of School and Wine. So contacted them and then asked them if I could do just like night classes so I can still earn a full-time wage to support the family.
Oh, yeah.
And then they accidentally enrolled me as a full-time student.
Oh,
So,
Accidentally?
yeah.
Why? Why?
I have no idea.
yeah.
But then, so all the night classes spots had filled up. So I had no choice but to take that on if my wife would, if my wife at that time would let me. So I asked her, and she gave me a blessing at that time. So I went into full-time studying and completed my level 3 and 4 in cookery, and then got offered to do level 5, which is like fine dining. But I'm all about the big portions, you know, some soul food, some proper, like a proper feed, eh? So
You know your when you said you had a love for food,
yeah,
like how did that actually start? Because you said you were in a factory, but you had this love for food in the background.
yeah.
So
Growing
what were
up,
you doing?
just growing up with a household of I think there was 8 of us. There's six of us, all
Siblings?
boys,
Oh, yeah.
siblings. So got 5 brothers and mum and dad, and it was a bit hard for us growing up, like trying to provide for all of us. So we were always like mum and dad would always make like moakale, and then we'll have that for like the next 4 days.
Yeah.
I was like, shit,
Yeah.
please, man, can we have the next one? Will be like a sausage stew and rice,
Yeah.
and then they're all going for
Those are the
3
go-tos,
days.
eh?
Yeah. But it was just what they could provide for us at the time. Then, as I got older, we'll go into like friends' houses, then have some like have sleepover, and then okay, suddenly how come you get different dinners every day?
Yeah.
And then like just something clicked in my brain from there. I was like, oh, I need to work with food, and you know, when never get hungry sort of thing. But then as life went on, sort of got caught up in the wrong crowd, eh? Then I think this is what really triggered me, like wanting to become a chef. So it was in, I was locked up with my brother, and we were in prison out in Linton. And then I think it was his 18th birthday. So, and we were sort of in the maximum cell at the time.
18 years old.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
18 years. And then, so, and if you're in like a maximum jail, you only like let out of the cell 1 hour each day until you work your way to like a minimum status. And so I remember that day vividly because it was his birthday, and then like all we had was like if you like you do like a food shopping, so you buy noodles, rice, biscuits, and just things like that just to get you through. Then I remember just like we had onions, rice and noodles, then just fillet the angiangis and
Yeah.
through the noodles through and put the flavouring on, and then it was pretty tasty back there. I know it probably sounds disgusting, but so yeah, I think that triggered me wanted to learn more about food and know where it comes from and like what we're eating and just things, small things like that.
That's an awesome story because, you know, when you like how you explain it, but it's such a simple meal. But when it just shows that if you can make anything. Like
Definitely. And
they're so creative in JOE. Like the food.
Yeah.
So I saw what's his name, Dre Skrilla. Scared about what's the
I saw prison cheesecake or something.
prison pizza. They had the flour and put in the
cheese.
They crunch it up.
Yeah,
They make it into a dough.
Yeah.
Oh, they get the sandwiches, huh?
Yeah.
And then they take all the stuff out, and then with the bread, they just make it into a dough and make a pizza base. And put the things back on the pizza. Oh man.
Hey. I only saw his prison cheesecake.
Oh, I haven't watched that, guys. Does he do
Oh, he just
like
shows,
recreates his meals from it. Oh, yeah.
So he just does his like, well, I can't remember how he done the cheesecake, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, probably sit there and think of the most creative
Yeah.
things. Hey, and then you think, I hope those people that made that up used that to good use when they,
Yeah.
because that's an awesome story. How, that probably the lowest point
Yeah.
in your life, well,
Yeah,
and that
definitely.
became the
Yeah.
spark that's
Yeah.
led you to down that path. Now,
Yeah, for
is this
sure.
your brother? The one,
Yeah. Sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading his story
Mm.
and his where he came from, and
Yeah.
I remember people being inspired by his story because, because I follow him on social media and
Yeah.
you realize like, it can go either way. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
get caught up
definitely,
in
yeah.
that lifestyle, and you never reach your
Yeah.
potential, or he can be like, or you can go the left, just
Yeah.
like you and your brother. See,
Yeah.
now you're a chef.
Yeah.
He's a he's a league player who's made the most of his opportunity. So
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. Like
Yeah.
for
And so if you was like, man, like you hear stories about all those people that say, oh, you go to jail and then come out, you can't get a job.
Yeah.
And everyone looks at you. You have to put that down on your CV, like,
Yeah.
or on the application. No,
Yeah.
you've been to prison, then
Yeah.
that's it. You're not gonna get hired.
Yeah, well, that's another reason why I went into this line of work too, because actually when I got out, it was hard to find like a job, like any job, to be
Yeah.
fair. So I was like just always knocking on all these doors, and then I think my first job was like doing demolition labouring. So
Yeah.
people would like bust down, then we'll come through and take away the rubbish.
yeah.
It's like the dustiest, dirtiest
Oh.
job I've ever done. But yeah, then just had a hunger to try put something on the table for the family, and so so going into the kitchen was a blessing as well, because they don't ask for your background or like anything like that. So I just had had to keep my head down and just work hard, and just hopefully they didn't ask. But like growing up too, I was not someone that's like a people person. Like I was always shy, and working in the back of the kitchen was like I thought about it like, Sule, that's me too. They'd have to like talk to anyone, or
Yeah.
so yeah, just doing like cooking food and just seeing people's reactions to like being full and satisfied. That's what.
That makes a lot of sense, eh? Because it is like, not say lonely, because you work with your colleagues in there, but
Yeah.
you're on your station, you got to do what you have to do
Yeah.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in time with everyone else.
Yeah.
Is that like the personality of a lot of people in as a chef? Like, are they all like that kind of person? Like,
Oh, now some of them some of them just dropped out of school and
Yeah.
just went straight into the kitchen, but they're not all like how I am. Like especially being Pacific Islander, you see a lot of us just like not wanting to step up because too much pride or whatever. But now as we get older, we got like people like our kids looking up at us, so we have to just keep pushing forward and just try and better ourselves, because there's always someone like the young ones watching. Yeah.
You know what's out of it is that how you enrolled for the night classes, and through some clerical error you end up going. That's like was that? Did you think it like after doing? Oh yeah, that's God telling me, or that's
Oh man,
that's sign there. Like
Yeah.
oh okay then because if you the chances are if you went to that done those night classes,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't have been asked to go do all that, or it would have been longer, right, for you to get those
definitely,
qualifications.
I think it cut back 2 years of studying, so that like honestly, if you put your mind to something and you want to just follow your passion, just got to jump in the deep end. Because like even my kind of thinking at the time was like, how am I going to help pay the bills, help pay for food? But my support system was pretty solid and really helped me through the area. So got lucky.
So what was like going to school? What's the name of the school?
New Zealand Food of School and Wine.
Is that like the top school in New Zealand?
Oh, that was the only school, well, the first school that popped up when I punched into Google.
Yeah.
But there's actually 3 or 4 more schools around in the city. But the owner of the school, she's a wine critic, and she used to own a restaurant and a high-end restaurant in Christchurch. But just before, after the earthquakes, she relocated to in the city. So he was a good person to learn off.
Well, so today's the anniversary. It's like 2
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
since that.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
ironic that
Yeah.
she ended up coming here, and then
Yeah.
because that's. I wonder how many schools there are. Like, I guess when you put New Zealand at the end, it's gonna kind of catch your eye. Or
Yeah. So your first year at school, was that like, were you only Pacific Islander at that time?
Yeah, it was actually. There was a lot of foreigners and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of like Balangis as well. But it was good to work with a different bunch of cultures as well. You can learn how to like cook their cuisines and just rub off on them as well.
So what's the course like? Is it like first year you just learn the basics?
Yeah, it was level 3 was just right back to basics, and so I was learning how to chop onions at a reasonable pace.
how do they do that? Do they? Because you have do they have to be cut like a certain way?
Yeah,
Do they time you or
No, because the way I cut onions at home, none of them look the same.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've cut a few onions in my life, and
But being in a restaurant, you sort of want everything uniform.
yeah.
And so not only that it looks nice, but it's cooked evenly as well. And first time, because so let me take you back when I asked my wife at the time if I could do studying full time and got their blessings, and then her dad like took me down, told me to hop in his car on one weekend and took me down to the knife shop, and he brought my uniform, all my knives.
Well, is that the one in Eden?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Eden Terrace.
What's that? Is that the chef?
House of Knives.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So he kitted me up there, and then my first day at school, then they were going, so we're going to learn how to cut onions and carrots and celery, which they call it mirepoix. It's French for onion, carrots, and then so they had a look at the technique, and they said, "Mate, you're going to chop your fingers off." So I was just so I think that night I went home. I brought a sack of carrots, then just started practicing. So I didn't want to be the kid with, all the tools but no idea. Then I think after that, like that whole first week, you're learning how to chop and like safety and just hygiene, which is like when people come in to the restaurant and they come from schools, they're really like they know hygiene and like safety and all this. Like you walk behind someone, just say backs because it's all confined spaces. So yeah,
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool story though, because it's kind of like when you used to go to school back in the days, and you go with your parents and you get the uniform and all that. You get your pens and you go and then the teacher asks you the question, you're just looking at the blackboard like, I have no idea what you're saying. I got all the mean pens and founts, but lame smears. And
Yes.
yeah.
Wow. Because remember we were talking before we came on. Like there was a time in my life when I wanted to be a chef.
Yeah.
Rewind back the clock and start all over again and go to do what you did. But man, when I told you, it was like a different lifestyle. No?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of long hours. So just depending on how busy each restaurant is. I was like on our busiest, I was only catching 4 hours sleep before I had to get up again and get ready for work.
I mean, what that lifestyle, did you know it back then?
Oh,
When you were at school, did you know it was going to be your life? Like, how
Yeah,
it was going to be?
I sort of
long
knew.
hours and all
Yeah, well, as I went in for work experience, a lot of the guys were just warning me about it. But the chefs, the senior chefs, like sort of knew my background and knew I had a family and kids, so they sort of showed some leniency towards that.
Oh, that's good.
Till I got used to it. But now it's just normal life now. Yeah.
So you know how you said you're working at Soba?
Yeah.
Was that straight out of school?
Yes.
Oh,
Far out.
Yeah, straight out of level 3, completed level 3 and 4, and then
Like to me, hearing that tells me like from school straight to the top, like one of the best restaurants in.
yeah. Well, my the owner of the New Zealand Food of School and Wine, she told me, she goes, "Oh yeah, we'll go and see if you can get your foot in here," and she told me to say I knew everything about fish, oysters, but fact is I hate those things. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So I just went in and just said this and that to get the foot in the door, and then they offered me a job after I did a week's work experience, and then from there on I was in the deep end. So the first week I went back home and told my wife at that time, I said, "Oh man, I think I made a mistake. Wanted to quit, eh?" Did she just like just encouraged me to stay on and remember why I started studying and wanted to work in the kitchen. So I just pushed through. It was really a real struggle because the position they pushed me into was for someone that's experienced like in that role, and so I had a lot of catching up to do in that sense. So I just remember whenever I got my roster, says like 8 till 5. I was there at 7, just learning my trade every day until I got used to it, and then I just to me I just want to do the small things and just do it extremely well before I can move up and learn something else in the kitchen or another station.
You know, you mentioned that you don't like oysters and all that seafood. You don't.
Yeah, no. It's,
Do you get gout or?
It's a funny story. So
when I under the sister, they like seafood. I'm like, Gasian Mele.
My first week there, when I was on work experience, I was encouraged to like taste everything.
Oh, yeah.
So there was like oysters. I had that, and well, it doesn't do anything for me, or like, I think, oh man, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Like how I see my friends eat them.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them. And then there's like chicken liver pates, and I tasted it, and like it was like nice and rich. And then like all these other, like it was most of the foods that were like really foreign to me, and so I was trying it, and then after my third day, I woke up and I couldn't walk. I was going, "Hey, something's wrong with my leg."
What's is new sensation. I've never.
So I felt
sorry.
horrible.
Sorry.
Like we were really busy in the kitchen too,
Yeah.
and I had no choice but to ring chef and go, hey, look here, mate. There's a situation happened with my leg. And he goes, oh, what's going on? We need you today. And I was like, man, I can't walk. I need to go to the doctor. so I had the day off, and then I went to stand up. Julie, I couldn't even. Yeah, so I made it to the doctors, and I said, man, I can't like move my foot. He goes, oh, I think you have the gout, mate. But like, to me, it's
You've never had it before, right?
I've never had it. But I think my body really knows not to go near.
It's seafood.
So from now on, it's always get. If we need a test oysters, to get some.
You know how you said the first couple of weeks were tough.
Yeah.
At what point did you finally realize, like, feel comfortable, like, this is why I chose this as my job or my profession?
Oh, yeah. At first, it was like I didn't even know the difference between a parsley and coriander, and so like I was going in and like just following recipes, and I was going in to do my shopping, like gathering all the ingredients, and I was like, something that should be like 3 minutes was taking me 20 minutes, just to. So and hence why I was always just going in that little bit earlier, just so I can school myself on just little things like that. But it wasn't like it's a high pressure environment as well, where people are yelling at each other. We need to get the food up at the same time, and just once I got the hang of it, I really loved that kind of pressure. Just being put under the like that kind of pressure, I was like, man, this is fun. And then after work, you're like, just go and have a beer, and it's like, oh man, this is well deserved. Even like in town, you're paying $12 for one beer. I was like, dude.
You know when I see those cooking shows, the chef shows and that, and yeah, you're right, like how you guys do it at the kitchen, like. Because the meal on the plate, they all cook different times, so they all have to come out at the same time, so you have to start different times to make it all come out at the same time. Yeah. And to me, thinking about that, like, how do you guys, like, that's hard, like, but it must be of, like, you know, a formula, like.
But it's, we do a mise en place, which is just preparing for service. So, just say we're doing a steak with mushroom sauce and fries and a salad. So we'll pre-cook the mushroom sauce and then just portion them all out. And then once the steak will be ready in, say, 3 minutes, then we'll get the sauces on the pans and then just finish it off so it's on the table like it's fresh out of the oven sort of thing. So there's a lot to do with prepping and just getting organised before each.
Hence the pressure, but I guess that's fun now.
If
you, it seems to me like in the beginning when you're struggling, it's not fun. But when you get it, like, it's fun.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of accomplishment after each service and knowing everyone's like satisfied.
So I remember when I was working at Stanford Plaza, and we had this chef. He was an English chef, and they had headhunted him and brought him over to New Zealand. And man, just the language the way they talk, because it's funny, like him and the sous chef, and you know, because he was the executive chef, mate, they would be at each other all the time. F and we get this. Where the F is this? Where you know? And you just, I remember the first call. I was like, man, there's gonna be a fusuanga.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, someone's gonna get some hot oil on their face, man.
It's ruthless.
And they're like that, man. As soon as you know the last order goes up, great service tonight, guys. I just saw this guy nearly kicking her.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, well, I remember first time I got grilled at Zulu, I was like, what the hell's going on here? I just wanted to like take him around the outside of the car. So what did you say? But, yeah, it's that's just the culture in the kitchens. You're like, 'cause you don't want to get like stuff anything up like majorly. So if that pressure is always put on that person, they're always gonna want to try their best not to stuff up.
Yeah.
But if they do, then there's obviously a reason why they like messed up that meal. But yeah, if one meal's just say there's a table of 10 and one meal got ruined, then we have to start all over again.
Yeah.
We can't just send 9 meals and one person's waiting another 10 minutes for the.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so that's why it's crucial. Everyone
On
hits,
point.
yeah.
Do you see yourself being a head chef and doing all the shouting? And do you see
Pardon?
yourself in that head chef
Oh,
role, doing all the shouting and all that?
Yeah, it's funny you said that because a lot of the way I was trained to like talk to people like that and communicate, like really boot them up the ass if like they're not working hard enough or they're not up to standard. But that's just not the kind of person I am.
So you failed that, of course.
Yeah, totally. Honestly, it's to me that's negative, and if I go in with a negative mindset, it's gonna show in my food.
Well, the other thing is that they're asking you to be a person that you're not.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
That's not you.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, I'm just I just always just say, oh look, man, I need you to do this, and just give them the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, I'm working twice as hard.
So say you were a head chef, like, and you had your own attitude.
Yeah.
How would you do it to get people in line, your workers in line?
Oh, it's
Well,
honestly, this kitchen is huge kitchen. We got over 30 chefs, but so we're split up in 2 shifts. So you have to be ruthless in your approach, and like there's a lot of senior chefs in the kitchen at the same time, and a lot of us, well, everyone knows their role, but it's just coming together and just like working as one, working as a team. But a lot of a lot of these guys are like foreigners, and like me being PI, you're brought up playing team sports, and I just fit in with team environments. So I know how to play my part to make so the team can be successful and win a game, sort of thing. And these guys all like brought up like single kid families and just stuck to themselves. But now they're in a team environment, and fortunately, I see a lot of them just don't have like people skills. So yeah, going back to like just being in the back of the kitchen and you're not like a shop window or anything, I think maybe some of them chose that path for that reason too.
oh, okay.
But yeah.
Well, because, being a chef is, you said you're part of a team, but you also have to be like, you're an individual too, because you have a task that you need to.
Yeah.
And going back to how you said you'd go an hour early or you'd finish later. Did you always have that drive, like with everything you did? Because you're putting in the extra yards to come up to speed in it. What gives you? Where'd you get that drive from?
Oh, just growing up, like mum and dad were always always doing the hard labour jobs, like working in the strawberry farms or
Absolutely.
just
Did you ever go pick strawberries?
It was my first job out of school.
I went and done that. The one up at his name was Molisi.
Oh yeah, those are
The Croatian guy.
Yeah. So,
Bro, those toilets there, mate.
Sure.
You know what? I was scared if I went in there, like Doctor Who, I'd never come out.
Oh.
Because they were really bad.
Oh.
Bro, I remember my uncle, so it was me, my mate Boz, Vata Beefham, my cousin, my brother John, and my uncle took me up because, you know, he came down to see my dad.
Yeah.
School holidays, and he asked, what's this guy doing? He goes, follow my TV.
Yeah.
But this I was like, man, watching this of our lives, man, sure. And then he goes, here, come with me, we'll go up to the strawberries solely. That's where
Yeah, bro,
that's hard, yeah, okay. You
That's
know,
where you're gonna.
That's
You
right.
got a strong back there.
all that, the shoulders,
Yeah.
you know, carrying the things
Yeah.
through and that. And I remember, like, you look at the line, you go, it's not that long, eh?
Yeah,
Bro, and
true.
you're big, and you look up and you go, I've only moved about 3
Yeah, yeah.
meters.
So
Was that
then-
all of you and your siblings working there?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I think we all came through there, and then just moved on from there.
Yeah, so that's a good job to learn.
Yeah.
Because, you know, after that, you go,
absolutely.
nothing can be harder than
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Man.
Like, it's all good. Like picking in the morning when the sun's not up.
Yeah.
Surely once the sun's up, oh my. Wow.
There's another job I lost 15 kgs, man.
Yeah.
So if you look at my friends, he's skinny now, he's like, pause. Not doing any hard labor jobs, man. But yeah, that place, that's for us Islanders, eh?
Right.
I remember getting my check, run straight to the, like, you know, because they give it as a check. Then I'd go to the show, or the show that's down the road, just to colour, because I knew my dad was, you know, whatever you get, half. I was like, this guy's wasting the tax, man, bro. Jeez, man, I'm 15 years old. This man's making me give half of my kokongi, man. That's how you learn early, good practices, like, you know, pay your bills because, mate, your parents already doing those ones. Oh, so your mom and dad worked there? So they worked there as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Mum was in the pack house, and all of us were in the field. So yeah, we were the same. Just once we get the paycheck, text man, so get text up what.
That sound got text by Helen Clark and the text man of the house. But now you know what? You're right, because that job teaches you good good work ethic.
Yeah,
Because,
definitely, man.
you know that because it was my cousin's auntie. She was the boss there. Forgot her name. Oh. And like we thought, we're gonna get special treatment because it's your auntie. So I think she singled us out because she could. Because she'll be swearing at us, but it's because she's trying to really talk to other people. Yeah. You know, I'm working just as hard as everyone. You're singling me out, man. Yeah, but those are the days, man. That's right though. But you see your parents.
Yeah.
And the sacrifices they made. Like, you know how you said, you know, when you get your like, you know, when they come and make dinner, you know, that's why we, like, my older brother and us, we started to learn how to cook because my mum was coming home late.
Yeah.
My dad was working night shift, so we were just on our own. So we had to, you know, the good old lamb flaps.
Yeah, bro. So
You got to learn, eh? You've got to learn to cook for yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to experiment because you can only have so much
noodles
noodles, and so you got to experiment with everything. Yeah. But yeah, that's just out of necessity, man.
Yeah.
So you know, with the you being a chef, do you follow any other? Do you follow Michael Meredith? I mean, have you ever met these guys before?
Yeah, to be honest, well, like I've always been watching YouTube, and it's all like the Gordon Ramsays and Jamie Oliver and that. But it wasn't until I just did some proper homework with the chefs back at home over here.
Yeah.
Then I like come across him on social media and Monique Fiso and just the likes of these guys. Yeah.
That's because that must be inspirational for you to know that.
Oh yeah,
Man,
definitely.
look at these guys they're trailblazers, really. Because I saw on your Instagram page how you had, I think you put up something to do the Porusami.
Oh yes.
And that, like, it's out of it because with guys like Michael Meredith and all the other Pacific chefs, they're bringing Samoan cuisine or island food and introducing it to the mainstream.
Yeah.
Have you had any ideas like that? Is there a that you think, oh man, I think if this is done well, besides not my people, not just islanders in general, but the Palangi people are going to go, what the
Yeah,
hell is, you know?
Yeah, it's funny you brought that up because like my style of cooking, it's nowhere near like fine dining. It's more of like it's gonna get a proper like hearty feed, and that's all my main focus is like the taste. Just want it to taste delicious and just seeing people's reactions, sort of thing. But I did one demo for, I forgot who the group was. So they approached me, I think it was through the school, because they wanted someone to do island cuisine. So I went in and I did just went and did a food demo on how to make like a luau and oka, and with just the techniques I learned through work. So I just infused those together. So with the luau, I slow cooked the brisket, added some spices in it, and then just put it inside the luau and baked it off. Surely, and then even the oka, like I infused the coconut cream with like palm sugars and chilies and like garlic. Just took it to another level. I was like, dude. And then like everyone was like, oh man, is there a shop? And I was surprised because I looked out and there was probably only about 3 PIs and the rest were like Balangis.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, people didn't even come out to learn something new, you know?
Yeah.
But what really inspired me to try and work more with like PI food was just reading this book, and just shows our history and the food, our people's cuisines, and just knowing that they still do it at home, like cook the umus and the kids, you know, doing all the whitos and prepping all the food. And then just like reading this article is like some meat factory was like sending all their offcuts. It was either going to go for pet food or shipped to the islands.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the? They were like, then I started thinking, like Bovi Masimas.
Yeah.
They gotta fucking put that in the lapisi and mince it up for the for pet food. And then just like things like bisupo, like nothing wrong with the foods. Like I've definitely got a fat tooth myself. Like I love like pork belly, eating the skins, like anything that's rendered down nicely. Nothing goes to waste unless it's bones or, you know. But just looking into that, and so like when I make lamb, so I'll just try and eliminate all the fats off like a lamb shoulder, and then put that in my food. Do like briskets, just trim all the fat off, and then like take off a bit of but can still make the food tasty, you know.
Yeah.
See, that's what, you know, when we talk about, I think there was an article as well about how, like you said, New Zealand, all the meat factories, as soon as, you know, that's why we had all the lamb flaps in Samoa, the muri pipi, and like we were getting all the off, you know, and that's, you know, you're sending all this food to our people in Samoa. It's cheap, and it's only gonna, you know, if you kind of look at the health of Samoans in general, I guarantee it coincided with when New Zealand started sending all our off. You know, it's funny because they ate lamb flaps here, and we were eating the lamb flaps here because they were the cheapest cut of meat. You know, I remember growing up, me and my friend Henry were talking about it, and when I was growing up, we used to get lamb shanks like all the time, man. Like it was nothing. You know, me, I was like, like 3 lamb shanks each. Because my mum would just, you know, she'd bring it and she'd thing, and then I went. The other day I went to go buy a lamb. I remember looking at the lamb shank, and they're gone, guy. As soon as the Balinese realised, oh man, this is how they, if you slow cook this and that, you know, and then add my red wine and all that kind of stuff, then it showed up. And So I thought lamb shanks were like
Yeah.
ate them like they were like
yeah, bro. So
hey, you know, see how they when they find something, then they take it off us pretty much. You know, even though we've been using that, eating all that food for all our lives. But yeah, like that thing about that could be a cool thing for you, like showing our people that you can still get the lamb flaps, but you can cut it down to just just get the best parts of the lamb, because it's like it's sad because they talk about obesity and that, and then there's a couple of years ago they came out, Samoan's probably one of the worst, and we in New Zealand pretty much had a hand in that because we were sending them all that. But you know the thing about Samoans, you give us something, we'll make it work.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, like would it be and they like,
yeah.
I never heard of it until the rapper.
Yeah.
Hey, remember the rapper? Would it be like, what is that? What is that, man? And then I got to Samoa and I found it. And I went, what the heck is this? This is the goods, man. But we were just used, we find something and we manage to make it work. Hey,
and like even like some of our generation, we were born into it. It's normal to us.
Yeah.
But like the way I think about it, I'm not sure if it's true. Like when they do send the food back, way back when they first started, I'm sure like our people were like always out fishing and like always active looking for their food or catching food. But now they're like, oh man, comes in a can.
Yeah.
Son, you got the day off.
Hey, and then people are like, if I can just get enough to get 5 of these couples, I wouldn't have to wait
and
any days this week.
And then they started putting the lamb flaps in the 10-litre bucket.
Hard out. No, you're right. You're right, Bovi Masima is another thing, That's another thing that contributed. Remember, we used to just get them. I remember, like, I know this is sad, but every time I knew there was a funeral or something, I'm like this.
Yeah.
So we Bovi Masima on Saturday table, because they're gonna come and bring a paella and that. And that's it's funny what you said, because now that I think about it, it is. We're born into it, We're born into this meat,
Yeah.
Even in Samoa, when I was there, when I was staying there, like the cheapest meat was chicken. Everyone's getting chicken.
Yeah.
The cheapest meat there.
So that's why every house has got a fried chicken recipe. Hey, or the barbecues. You go the barbecue, the one in Siusenga and that. So that was just to have a few beers in town and then go drop down the way home, grab a couple of, because it's so convenient now, it's out of it. If you look back at all the photos, like I look at my dad's photos, old photos when he was in Samoa, and everyone, sort of, they're all built like, sort of like they work out or something, like, because they didn't have that kind of meat back then, man. They were just working the land.
They always had to be active to feed the family. So
that's right. Yeah. And then, or even now, if you see all them when they're young, like they're all they're all fit in that, until they.
Today, come visit the auntie in New Zealand. Tony KFC. So what's that, McDonald's?
I'm sure McDonald's will help, but I think it's about $40 a combo over there. Man, it was funny because I saw an ad for it, and I was like, family combo, 70 tala. I know Samoan money is good, but I ain't gonna pay that much, But nah, that's crazy. But that's cool, man. How you, reading that article kind of made you change your.
Yeah, it just changed my approach to because I know if can just show one person, they can take it back home and just make those little changes in their kitchen and just have the domino effect sort of thing.
Did you ever read the article?
Oh no, that's a book. I'll send you a message later. Yeah. So I went through and got it from the library.
Because I remember that because Michael Meredith he came on TV and he was showing the chef his one of his recipes, because he had that restaurant in Dominion Road.
Yeah.
And it was a digger station, no?
Yeah.
And like.
Was it what?
It was a digger station, like the 12-course meal.
Yeah.
Thing is with the little.
Yeah.
Small, huh?
Yeah.
But he was getting his ingredients from our flea market. He got some corned beef, some bisopo, and he made some little things like it was mean. It's like fuck. You couldn't even recognize it when it's finished.
Yeah.
But it's bisopo and and serving it to. It's like $120 edition. Oh, it's expensive those ones. Oh.
Yeah. Do you get my own off?
You don't need.
It's for the experience, though.
Yeah, it's more
tasting.
just tasting,
Oh,
just
okay.
getting the flavors.
Yeah.
There's be a lot of punch on just a small plate.
Because when I hear $120 for a meal,
So,
I'm
like,
do I get a back massage?
yeah.
Does
Doggy bag.
the waiter come around and before your back?
Yeah.
Then, because that, but that's just. I know there's places like that.
Yeah. Dude, where did you go for that?
well, eight pretty much cost the hour. That's why when I hear people go, "So we'll go to the 8," I'm like, "Oh, what week is that? Oh, is that an odd week?" There's Kingainga ones, bro.
So have you built up your own recipes for like your own, like you were talking about like infusing salmon food with what you've learnt, and then
Like when I first started in soba, my head chef at the time sort of told me, "Look, there's no ingredients to be discovered now. It's just up to the person to put it together. Or you could still find bits and pieces like discovered ingredients like that, but it's just infusing it and was like working with Indians and Koreans, Chinese." They're rubbing off on me, and I'm sort of
Picking up
just,
there.
and just infusing it and just seeing what works. But it's in the kitchen. We each section will cook the staff dinner every day. So that's where you can practice as well. So you just order in what you want, and then if the palangis like it, then must be ready. Start the food truck.
That is the thing with restaurants, is like with kitchens, is that you eat together before the. Is it before the start of shift or at the end?
Before, it's after the lunch service and before dinner service.
But that's you kind of like where everyone is. That where everyone kind of is it kind of like at the same time you're all brainstorming or trying to get ideas? Are you asking? Has there been a meal where like someone's? Is there any experimenting there?
Oh, no.
You don't want to be the guy that was left to do the meat and you did it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No, you'll sort of know, like, because you put 2 or 3 trays up, and if it's still full by the time the service started, then
if you said with the Asian influence you're getting, I watched on Netflix this documentary about how Koreans love pork, and it's like a 3-part, and all the stuff. Like they love pork belly, like Koreans and all that. And look, I was like, and they came across pork belly the kind of way like we discovered. Well, there's other meat because it was the cheapest kind of meat, and then they found a way to really
like render down the fats.
Yeah.
The thing about Koreans, their food. It's real hearty. They love their meats.
Yeah. I've like even when I first started, like the cooking school, I was going on YouTube. Just seeing how because that's like one of my favorites is pork belly and duck.
Yeah.
So I was like going on and having a look, and I thought, man, that's too much. It's too technical. They like boil it, then deep fry it, and back to boil, but that's how you get the really nice rendered down.
Man, like they had, if you get a chance to watch it on Netflix, they break it down like it's like. That's their first love. Yeah, like they are the biggest consumers per capita of pork. And they pretty much it's just pork belly and every other meat is kind of behind, but they consume more pork belly than anyone else.
If you compare the Korean food to all the other Asian foods, like they're different,
Yeah.
Even if they're kimchi. And compare with their meats they have, with the pork, the marinade they have, the red one, and All the
Yeah.
meat's like real heavy food, huh? That's what I learned.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I always crack up because I always think, so they're the closest to islanders, the people I know, Koreans. See, even though they seem to singers in Samoa, I want to see the Koreans and the way they eat and the way they act. I'm like, I'm sure there's, we come from the same cloth or something, man. Because they're out of it, eh?
Yeah,
And I know my cousin, she stayed in Korea. She was teaching over there, and she's just telling me how awesome they are, right? But that's out of it, man. So what are you picking, like specifically, like picking up off them, the other chefs of other ethnicities?
Like even simple things like butter chicken. When I seen what they put in it, I was like, wow, we've been doing it wrong this whole time. But they like
because there's heaps of spices.
Heaps of spices, but it's like even like cinnamon sticks, anasties, cashew nuts, all blended in, like coriander seeds and and then when you put it all together, I was like, wow, that's gonna taste spicy, but and it was so tasty.
Yeah, it's just out of it, all these different. We have all these cuisine, every like different ethnicity in that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like if you think about Samoan food, and like if you compare it to other places around other Pacific Islands, like we have pork buns, we have keke potas, and that's the Chinese. Influence, and like
even like the sapasui.
Yeah, that's right.
But
So do your Asian cooks like see what our sapsui in there, and if that's like looks like our
now they're like this. Do you need that much to a sauce? That's just you just use it for dipping.
Yeah, I was gonna make a sapasui for staff meal on our tin, and my singer mate goes, "What the fuck are you making?" Like, have you tried chop suey? He goes, "That's not chop suey, you prick."
But yeah, that's what I was like, because when I see this Asian and they're using the vermicelli and that, and I'm like, I'm just waiting for them to put the sauce on. They're gonna eat it like that, It's like the way they eat it, it's quite dry, I don't know, man. That's not the way I,
Is chop suey in China vegetables? Just stir fried vegetables? Is that?
Yeah,
because I remember seeing like something on the say chop suey on the picture, but the picture is like stir fried. There's no vermicelli in there.
Oh, gee.
I remember seeing that and I thought, got the name wrong.
Well, where did they get that name for you? I mean,
but then I saw one of the what's the pie one on YouTube, the bakery one, and they got they went to what's that bakery that
Blue Rose,
the one where you like the bread.
Oh, the Hong Kong bakery.
Hong Kong bakery.
Yeah.
And they put that chop suey pie.
Yeah.
But there's no vermicelli. It's just vegetables.
Oh, gee.
So that's what I thought. It must be Chinese thing.
There must be different parts have different definitions of chop suey. But yeah, that's. Have you seen like, how you said you're a chef? I know there's that Blue Rose Cafe. They have the balsamic pie, all those different pies. Do you like bake as well, or do you do?
Oh,
have you tried?
Yeah, I've tried.
During schooling, did they teach you how to do that?
Yeah, they showed me, taught us how to do pastries and things like that. But it's
it's not you.
You have to be patient for that.
Yeah, because you have to be quite real precise with.
Especially like cooking times, because you don't want it to be the pastry to be like hard or like near burnt sort of thing. But it takes a lot of time and technique to master that. I can do it, but if you're doing it to a mass, selling it in a shop or something, it's game changers.
The fusion thing, and possibly there's a lot of fusion restaurants, Asian fusion.
Yeah.
The European stuff. Like, man, we were talking to Charles about having a Pacific Island restaurant. But I'm thinking maybe the infusion of Pacific Island and something else would be the one to go with. Like with the stuff you've been doing. Like,
Yeah.
Do you see like a recipe you can do and make that into like a restaurant? You have a restaurant?
Yeah,
and have that stuff?
like to me, it'll probably be like a fusion of like European and PI foods. So I can think of a million ways to do like palifo kalos as a side dish, and luaus as like garnishes. Then just bring in some meats, proteins, and just add that to the plate, sort of thing.
Is there a market for it? Do you think?
Yeah, there definitely
I mean,
is.
Yeah.
Like to me, when my parents they moved over to Australia, and then I hadn't had like proper soul food in a while because
Working in
it gets special coming from the elders,
Yeah.
mum and dad or your aunties. And then I had it after a while and just hit the spot, and it just took me back to a time where, like back in my childhood, and I was like, man, exactly, someone else can experience this,
Yeah.
or just even have our food on the map that way.
You know how you were talking, like before going back, and you said, like you made that joke about maybe that's time for the food truck, and that's booming now, eh? That food truck.
Yeah.
Has that ever really? Have you ever really contemplated that? Maybe on the side on the weekends. Or?
Yeah, it's all. I'm just trying to manage my time at the moment. I was doing like just selling food from home, so just putting together just some island packages, and so sort of going off for a while. But then just things happened in my life where situation had changed, so sort of stopped and just trying to try and make my way back to the small steps. Just trying to get the food, just feed people.
Yeah. So I know that we had someone that we went to primary school. Her name was Rosalind, and she started selling hangis from home. Started selling food from home, and she was doing really well. And it just shows that there is a place for it. Like people, because that's what people want. They want hearty.
Yeah.
Like you can always get fish and chips, and you can always get McDonald's in that, but it's not going to fill that gap of. What was in what? So what meats were you putting inside your?
Yeah, it was pretty much like a island bento, where it's like honestly,
There's a fusion already. Okay.
No, because what is it? Like when you go for your Sunday kongais with the family, there's not just like two dishes. It's a spread of all sorts, like let's say sapasuid and kalo, is your proteins, is luaus, raw fish, and it's just a spread of like you're having a feast.
Yeah.
So that was I just put a island plate together and whatever was in season, and
And what was the feedback there when you were doing? Did they selling out? Were you?
Oh yeah, actually, like my brother-in-law asked me, he goes, "Oh man, the boys want to try your food." Then I just said, just money-wise, I said, "Oh, they'll have to buy 20 if they want to just."
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because I don't want to just buy bits and pieces and then my time, it costs time, like especially I'm losing time with the kids and just things like that, and then they came back straight away and said, "Oh yeah, they're all so they were already sold," and then so they came and got the food, and then they were messaging back and said, "Oh, is there any more? Cousins just arrived," and then I said, "Oh no, it was all pre-sold out, but I would can do it again next week." So it just started from 20, then I did 30, and then it just sort of spread around like that. And because I didn't want to just sell it to my people, it was still like, yeah, we'll support you, but you won't get the proper feedback that like an outsider.
Yeah.
And then I think it got up to 60, and then every one of them were like strangers.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was just through people's social media
Word of mouth
shares.
as well,
yeah. And so, and then after that, I just ran into some trouble at home and just sort of stopped. And then with the COVID and that, so it's just
But it's good to think that you've learned that there's a market out there for it. No?
yeah, it's just trying to find the right like even I think if you get too much numbers, you have to get a certified kitchen, and but it was just small numbers. You can just fly under the radar, sort of thing. Yeah, it was really nice to.
Speaking of COVID, how did you cope during that time? Because I would assume that would have taken off, because you're in the hospitality industry. That must have taken a big chunk of your year out compared to other people that were able to go back.
Especially last year's level 4.
Yeah. We were lucky. Like the first lockdown, I think everyone got this, was the subsidy.
Yeah, the wage subsidy.
Yeah. So we got the 80%, and then Soul Bar and Bistro, the owners topped everyone up to just to get their full wages.
Wow, that's
yeah.
Some companies didn't do that. Eh?
Yeah. It's I think it was just reward for hard work, or the way I see it anyway. And then they had a few seniors in the kitchen, and they broke down the whole fridge and just split up the food so everyone can get a care package. So we're all going home with crates of gourmet food. So we were eating like kings for first couple of days, and then.
Well, it makes sense, eh? Because
That's real eating weed.
Yeah.
What are you doing with food? It's just going to sit here. I don't want to give any.
Wrap it all up and put in the freezer.
And you come back after the lockdown and it's still there. Use it.
What kitchen were you working?
That's they can buy, they can buy. But silly, that's me, man.
Yeah.
But just to hear them as a company, I mean, because they're in hospitality and they rely on patrons, eh?
Yeah.
But they pretty much got customers all the time. So
they've got a loyal fan base there. So they've
And is it still owned by that Asian girl?
No, we're under Nourish Group now, so it's just been.
Were you there when that singer was working? No, she's the one on the China video, the David Bowie.
Oh yes.
Jaylene. Yeah, she's actually come back, and she's running the kitchen.
She was on Shortland Street, eh?
Projects, yeah.
Oh no, not Shortland Street. Yeah, she was that or Gloss. That's going back.
That was Gloss.
Gloss. Yes, China girl. Oh, okay. Yeah. So how long were you out for? A month? Was it 2? Was lockdown a month and a half?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Oh, level 2, level 3.
No, the first initial lockdown.
Level 4. 4 weeks.
Yeah, was it 4 weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was hazy through the whole. A lot of beers.
A lot of beers on the camera.
Yeah.
I was like, video.
I was like, what? Is today Tuesday? Wednesday? I didn't know, man. I'm waking up and everything is days at the moment.
So what did you do during lockdown then? Because man, that's really 4 weeks of.
Yeah, it was man. It was we had some nice sunny days, so we just get the kids out for a workout, and just we pitched the tent up at the back, so we went camping and just light the fire. It's just a lot of drinking.
Talking about taking the kids for a workout, that's another thing that you do it as well, eh? You post on your social media.
Yeah, it's just like I like to do it in my spare time, and plus the amount of food I eat.
So what started there? Like because a lot of people, sorry, they quite shy when it comes to putting up. Training and stuff. But because how you said you're naturally shy.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty tough starting to.
I always used to watch like people's clips and just think, man, if I could be doing that, and I just like not to be trying to be cocky or whatever, just put the same thing and just have something, say something nice, so just let someone else know they can do the same thing. And yeah.
What's the feedback been from that? People always, because I know when I see other islanders post up stuff, you know, I'm like, man, I'm gonna go work out someday.
Yeah.
Someday, but yeah. But what's the feedback been? Because
It's only with my just my close boys. They all just send me a message and
yeah. But I mean, that's what, because you want to, you know, as much as you want to inspire other people, if you can inspire your family, your friends,
well, because we have a group chat just between us because we're pretty close, and they're always saying, oh yeah, we'll start next week.
Yeah.
And then, well, sometimes they will start, and then 2 weeks later it's back to square one sort of thing. But it's always trying to give them some words of encouragement, because that's the hardest part, you know. It's getting off the start line, and then you just like you really grow a love for it, and like you're doing something for yourself at the same time, and some, like, especially like these guys I'm always the same too, but if you can just stay consistent, you'll get there, sort of thing. Yeah.
We've had Jordan come on, and he was like saying that you've been brought up, or you grew up together as well.
Yeah.
And it must be cool to have someone in the same kind of.
Oh yeah, we're close friends with his younger brother.
Oh, okay.
And then he was always around when we go to see the bros. So it's really when he first started opened the shop, I was always meaning to go in, and my son was saying, "Oh, Dad, can we join this gym?" Because my brother-in-law actually works for his dad, so they he's sort of seen the gym, through Instagram and that, and then I told him, "Yeah, son, I'm keen, but the bus leaves at 5 o'clock, so you have to be at work at 8 o'clock, and with our traffic, so we'll only be able to catch the early classes." But then I actually ended up moving out south, so it was just out of the way to make my way here, then head back out to work, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm really proud of his work he's doing. It's really booming now. Always follow him on Instagram. It's a lot of people in the gym now from when he first started.
Probably all the 651s mixes that he.
Yeah, to choose.
This is all the background too. I wonder if he's going to start charging them soon or something.
Yeah, too.
Well, I would. Yeah, but now it's cool, because we need more people like you who do that kind of thing, because there are like you can cover both lifestyles, because you can do you eat like cooking tips as well on that, like that healthy eating tips as well?
Obviously don't come to me for healthy tips. It's just
I think that's the big thing around New Zealand now. Like, there's talk about the sugar tax.
Yeah.
They're trying to get it across.
Oh yeah, sugars. That's a big.
And or take away GST for fruit and vegetables. Just trying to make healthy food more cheaper.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody. Like, you go to the fruit shop and it's expensive. If you're getting a capsicum or broccoli head at $5 or whatever, and
you can get a pie for $1.50.
Yeah.
What are you gonna? You need a quick fix.
That's 2 pies and a bread sandwich.
Yeah. But that's a tricky thing, because as much as they want to do the cheap fruit and vegetable, and that, it's about the prep as well. Like, it's convenience for people. So you'd hope that if they're gonna make it cheap, cheap vegetables and that, you hope these places that specialize in salads and that drop the prices, because their reasoning for making salads and smoothies expensive is because they could just the ingredients are expensive. So you'd only think that if they drop the prices of that, then that food should go down too. And then everyone would want to, if it's going to cost you the same to buy a quarter pack and like a massive salad and whatever and smoothie, you'd think that would work out. But I shouldn't have used KFC because I'd still take KFC on the
Yeah.
something else along those lines, fish and chips or something. But I'd hope that's how they think it's going to work out. But
that's a hard one because I think if they do introduce the sugar tax, we're just going to spend more money to get the Coke.
Yeah,
the Cokes in there.
Yeah, well, I think that's just like how they put a cigarette tax. Like people still smoking.
that's
it's like
what's going to take for people to quit? Does it have to be $100?
Yeah.
Because they put it up $1 or something every year. People just saving up more.
Yeah.
More together. They should just put it straight to like $50 and $60 and $70 and
but when it first started going up, there was like all these armed robberies on the dairies.
I was gonna say that.
On the news and
sugar tax. Someone's gonna rob. You're gonna rob a shop. I need 4 bottles of Coke.
Yeah.
What about the Smiths? I want 4 bottles of Coke, man. Like everyone will be like, oh flip. They're holding us up for a bottle of message.
Yeah, Sino would be like, Tolu, what did you come to jail for? 4 bottles of Coke.
You know what? And then, you'd be like, so. You could have made something better than that. I needed it to mix with my children.
So we know the tech is not going to work.
Yeah,
it has to be education then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because it will be hard. See, if you want to change the way our people in South Auckland eat, right? In every corner there's a takeaway, and that's all cheap food, And you got houses over there that have multiple families in there. So
not just South Auckland, West Auckland's the same as well.
Yep. And it's like you got to change the culture. You can't overnight change put the price up just to stop them. And that's not gonna work.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what the big question is. How is New Zealand gonna fix it? What do you do? Because we've already come to the conclusion. I don't want to hold up a bottle store. I don't want to hold up a dairy because I want a bottle of Coke. I want to.
Yeah. Hopefully, some another young guy will listen to your journey, being a chef, and get into that. Because from when you started and from now, more about food than you ever did.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Just the health side of things, what's good, what tastes good, and of course, McDonald's fish and chips taste good.
Yeah.
We all know that, but there's other things that taste good that we don't know.
Yeah.
And you tapped into all these other flavors in the world, and you know what tastes good, tastes better than going to McDonald's and all that. So that's a good thing to have. And if more of our people knew that too, then we probably won't go for the fish and chips and stuff like that. So, no man, that's good.
Before you were a chef, had you ever really been into not fine dining but eaten out much? Because I remember when I was growing up, I was like, I didn't even know. I honestly didn't know what sushi was until I was about 17.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I was always always envied the person that always went out. So I was when I did go out, it was almost like a special occasion. We'll go out to celebrate someone, and then actually when I did, and I was always thinking, I need to try something new. But I always go back to my favorite. I say, oh man, no, because I know it's gonna taste the same.
What works for you, And it's funny because when we go, we're going out, with your family, they're growing up. Oh, where are we going? We're going Valentine's. You know what I mean? That's the extent. I know there was other places, but you didn't know about going to restaurants for getting a steak or that kind of food, real food different food like that, because you're used to, like you said, Manhattan. Yeah. All you can eat places. That's what. Well, I guess we were always eating. Isn't it until you have your own kind of money, or you can do your
Yeah.
own thing, eh?
Yeah, because it's not cheap going out, like especially if you want to treat the family.
Well, so you got 5 brothers.
Yeah. So yeah, when we did go out, it had to be like a special occasion. And this, but actually, we'll probably lean towards more like a family barbecue, because everyone just bring a plate sort of thing, and it can serve everyone.
But that's the crazy thing about that's the cool thing about your story, is that it's not, because you pretty much jumped off the deep end. Like, you remember how you said that's a big risk, because a lot of people don't follow through or follow their dreams, because you've always and we've had a few guys do that have come on the podcast, say that they just thought, nah, it's now or never.
Yeah.
I've got like you said, you had a family to feed, you got to pay the bills, rent, stuff like that, and to still follow through. Was that another factor in that why you really wanted to succeed? Because you...
Yeah. The kids will always be my wife, but at the same time, I really enjoy being working in the kitchen, and just even when I make food for my friends, just to see the reaction, and even preparing the food, and I hate it, especially for my friends. I'm like, oh, man, why did I'd rather be out there drinking with them. And then once it's just that once they finish the meal, and then they give you that praise for that, 10 seconds, they're like, oh, that was worth it.
Yeah.
But that's to me, that's life. You just got to put in the work, and then get your rewards, then move on, do it again, repeat. Yeah.
It's funny because it is repeat in the kitchen, before the dishes and that, it's repetitive. So to do it every single day, to do it every night, every weekend, it has to be it's top notch anyway, because it's done all the time, right?
Yeah.
Until a new guy comes in and he's a train or whatever.
Yeah.
But that repetition, that's gonna be
because it's got to be at a standard, eh?
Yeah.
It's always got to be, because you don't, you can't be inconsistent with it. Oh man, I think that one was alright.
I don't think it will ever be, because you guys are all working every night.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, when I first started making recipes, I just had to go to a senior chef and give him a taste, and then they'll break it down and say, oh, this needs more lemon juice, needs more herbs. But now I've got into that stage where I've got my license to just make it, and I can I know all the shortcuts, because I understand the logic behind making each dish. And then when I that's one of the things I hate about working in the kitchen, is trying to teach someone new. Although I've been there, I don't know, it's I just don't have the patience, but at the same time, I won't say anything to discourage them. I'll just keep it in, like I said before, I won't yell at someone, send abuse unless it's necessary.
Yeah.
But just inside, I was like, oh man, it's slowing me down. But I always have to remember I was in that situation once. But actually, sorry, I lied. I don't mind teaching, but if
you don't pick it up. If they're not picking it up,
you get shown twice, and then you get one mistake, then that's then after that, that's what annoys me.
That's the worst thing. You teach someone and they make this mistake, and then you already taught them.
Then
they do it again.
Yeah.
And then they do it again.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Still, that is the worst.
That's when the famous scratching the head.
Yeah.
People like, heaps of islanders always scratching. You're probably the cause.
Yeah. If only you knew what that meant. It's followed by a
mate,
jandal or something.
When your dad, that's like when your dad calls you, so, and if they go right behind the ear, then you're like, oh yeah, well, exit. This is my exit. It's a strategy here.
I used to follow a lot of Anthony Bourdain.
Oh yeah.
And he used to talk about like some of the secrets in the kitchen. And he exposed like a lot of things that happened when he was working. Because he was working in the 70s and 80s, and he was in New York working there. And he talked about like stuff like never have the fish on a Monday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he said never order. If you order a well done steak, they're gonna get you the worst steak at the back. And the breads,
Yeah.
the breads, they say 50% of the breads go back to the kitchen, and they reuse it.
Oh.
And he said all that stuff, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I think back in the day there was no cap on like OSH regulations and things like that. But this kitchen is honestly it's so professionally run. It's that's a big no-no. There's cameras in every like corner, just so just in case there's a complaint and then like I think maybe people like put a piece of hair in there so when the meal's nearly finished, they'll get a replaced or refund or whatever.
Does that ever happen to you?
No.
There are
I've heard it happen, but it's not on when I was working there. But with the fish thing, that's because the ships only go out, comes in once a week, I think. So you need to order enough fish for the week to make sense for you. But then it'll be cheap. They'll put it on special.
Yeah.
But it's all still like edible. Like,
Yeah.
in the picture, if you look in your fridge, like mine too, the milk's out of date. Did a sniff test? Like, oh, that's all right, son. Yeah,
up to the light. It's ain't even floating in there.
yeah, but in a professional kitchen, you have to keep it. Otherwise, once you get that black mark, the word will just go around.
So competitive, between the restaurants because you're vying for customers, So once you've had that kind of that stigma of sort of that place, I think I ate last week's bread or something. But you don't. Well, I guess you're gonna have 30 full-time chefs or 30 chefs if you went of like quality in that.
It's always like if you just always send out the best food.
Yeah,
you'll get repeat customers, and that's the way you'll save money instead of if you send out crap food, they'll never come back.
That's right.
And then you can't like regenerate like that same person's mindset, and then he'll go out and share it on his Instagram with 1,000 followers.
That's the thing now, Like they have, was it Zomato or what's that one?
You comment.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
But when I read it,
reviews,
and like, it just gives everyone a right to feel important by putting their thing in or a comment in it. I can understand when you can see like the comments in there when people just go on this long tangents of man, I went and I was waiting in the foyer for 10 minutes and then I had to go. Then the chef, the food didn't come out. It's funny because it's all right after they eat, they go and then they write all the stuff. But I wish there was a chance where I've seen restaurants respond to people like that.
Yeah.
Hey, like have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there's this one
customer. They all eat.
Yeah. They said no. I was actually, it was the owner. And he goes, no, I dealt with, we dealt with you. You were rude and. It makes people feel like important in that. And I feel if you're a bad restaurant, eventually you'll get exposed. But I feel just one of those people just trying to cause.
Yeah, it's just attention seeking.
Yeah, attention seeking,
Yeah, it's Yeah, mate,
Like we never watched that Kitchen Nightmares, the Gordon Ramsay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those are bad
Whoa,
restaurants.
fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think New Zealand has those kind of places.
Nah,
No,
you
don't,
can't.
don't say that, mate.
Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
places like that, man.
Are they?
I reckon,
Yeah.
you know,
Like the
where
microwave
well,
macaroni and cheese. Fuck.
takeaways and that, you know, takeaways.
That's like
I guess.
bakeries. Bakery.
Yeah, bakeries are bad
That's,
like that.
that's like bakery styles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of these places they call them Quincy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they prepare the meals and then cook the fresh stuff, pack that away and serve the old stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw one episode like that. It's just a waste.
Yeah.
But that's so bad. Like, that's really you don't care, you know. You're all about the profit if you're going to do stuff
Well,
like
it's
that, eh?
not even thinking about the business, or you can't generate repeat customers. Because no one's going to want to go back to. You might as well just buy a frozen meal and put it in your microwave.
Yeah. You know, we had Charles come in, Roz, we had the guys from Epic Eats, and we're always thinking about how come Henderson isn't a place where we can have nice restaurants in that. I mean, the best restaurant in Henderson, well, because I haven't tried all this, but the one that everyone thinks of is Chinese restaurant, and that's just standard.
No.
You know what I mean?
Nah, it's the one opposite Henson High, the Wow Studios.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. That's
But
a
I mean,
nice
that's part of. That's not a standalone. That comes with the. You know, that's in the. Well, that studio place. But why haven't we got 3 or 4 restaurants there that. You know, we can go. Oh, so should we go and try out this restaurant in that? I know that I haven't been to all the Thai restaurants and all that. There's apparently the Japanese one there.
Yeah.
On the corner is pretty decent, but we don't have any restaurants like that, eh?
I haven't been through Henderson in a while, but just maybe it's the running costs. You need people to come through to keep the place running. Otherwise, just can't. Like Tony's, they're doing pretty good to survive the.
Well, because you know, Chinese, I think what appeals to people was that they have that set menu. You know what I mean? Like you pay $40 and you get a choice of the lamb or the fish, and you get to have some of the famous banoffee pie.
Yeah.
You know, because I know that's the go-to. Yeah, like I knew, because you have to pre-order it in the morning and then pick it up on that night, so they know how much.
Yeah.
They pick it up. Besides that, we don't have any restaurants like that. Eh? Like, hopefully when you and I know when we talk about if your meat is good, they'll come. Epic Eats is the perfect example of that. People were coming from far to come and try their food.
This is Hardy food.
Hardy food.
And the price is
reasonable,
reasonable.
and because he remember they told us that they put it at that price because they wanted everyone to come and eat. You know, the idea wasn't about the profit. If it was enough to cover the overheads in that.
Yeah.
Because they're mainly catering. They do
Yeah.
catering. That's where they get their money. But they decided to open a little restaurant.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is they were Westies too. You know, and that's what hopefully we can, because you know we have Lincoln Road. And remember, there's that article in New Zealand Herald for Lincoln Road from the motorway to the lights up here up to Great North Road. It has the most restaurants and fast food in New Zealand in one place.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, so it starts from Carl's Jr. all the way down.
Ooh.
You know, and that's out of it.
Yeah.
You know? So hopefully we can put some decent.
Yeah.
Because I know I went to the Korean barbecue place there. You know.
I haven't been there yet.
Is that the new spot?
Yeah, the old Valentine's.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I went there. It was good.
I tried to go there one time, but it was too packed.
Yeah, it's good.
Let's get somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, you know, you go and as soon as you walk through the door, you're looking. Is there any fans in here? There's Vivella there, man. You know. So I don't know if it's the heat from the oven or the heat from the people that's cooking the man, because that's how Vivella wasn't there. It was mean. It was a good place.
Good technique to get people out fast.
Yeah. Can we go now? Yeah, but no, it's good. I think when I went there, I can honestly say like the majority of them were our people, you know,
Mm.
because they love that kind of
Yeah.
all you can eat kind of stuff and doing your own food, and that,
Yeah, yeah.
that's why, you know, I guess that's a new experience for a lot of people as well, because it's out of it. Like, you know, when you think about it, you're paying money to cook your own food, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's about the experience. Hey,
Yeah.
you're sitting with loved ones or friends and family, cooking your food.
You
But
don't need to
after-
clean up after.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So
And it
that,
helps us Korean food too.
yeah, yeah. Well, after watching that documentary, I was like, I know that Samoans love food, but the way that Koreans love pork belly, man, it's a new. So I opened up and I was like, fuck, these guys are legit, like serious guys.
You get into the slow cook
Yeah, yeah.
barbecue stuff.
Oh, Jordan does a lot of that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but
has he got a smoker at home?
yeah.
Oh,
This guy's one of our tutors at the school, he owns more pork, and they specialize in American barbecues, which is slow cooked meats.
they opened one in Kimu. Oh,
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's the
First
second
one's at
branch.
Matagi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like I went and done a few night shifts at his just to
okay.
have a look.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's hard work. Eh?
Hey.
It's like
It's a lot of patience,
hours.
eh?
Yeah, it's like cooking them briskets or pork for like 12 hours straight. But there's a skill in putting enough wood in just so you can go have a sleep and then come back and the fire's not out and everyone's waiting for lunch and it's not cooked too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely an art to it.
Well, it's a different kind of environment too, because you just got to make sure the food's clean. You just got to cut it up. But as in a restaurant, you're going to have 10 different meals that you've got to whip up in a certain space of time. Yeah.
Because brisket's another meat was cheap before. Now it's expensive. Oh.
Yeah, it was,
Ever since the slow
yeah.
took off,
Mm.
now everyone's like,
Yeah,
now
that was
brisket's gone up. in
yeah,
price.
brisket, lamb shanks. That was all like the poor man's cut.
Yeah.
But now these guys,
Man, you know, because I went to a restaurant, I'm like, oh, lamb shanks. It was like $28.
yeah.
Like, how many lamb shanks?
Yeah,
Two.
yeah.
I was like, mate,
Yeah.
you know, at least you're keeping them straight from you got some lamb at the back there. But yeah, that's crazy. Eh? How all the foods that we took for granted,
Yeah.
and now,
Yeah.
that's. But I get. Should we try and make a prediction? Which is going to be the next? which kind of meat they're going to try
What's
and take off?
What's the cheap meat now? Right now, is it
Well,
gonna take off?
Well, bacon bones is pretty cheap. But that's good though. Eh?
You can keep that.
Oh man, slow. That's slow, man. You know, big hard pork, mate. You know. Well, you know that's what I mean. There's got to be a meat out there that's gonna, like you said. You know how you said that the tutor or that your head chef said all the ingredients have been discovered. It's just you trying to make whatever work.
Yeah.
What's the latest like craze at the moment? Like in the hospitality, you know how like we talk about French cuisine and I don't know the European and like what's the most popular kind of?
Oh man.
Because you know French cuisine's real. That's the real fine dining kind of stuff, eh?
Yeah.
But what are Kiwis into? Are we more like steak and mushroom steaks, or are we?
Yeah, that's like the normal pub food, eh? But all the systems and pretty much all the kitchens come from French.
Yeah,
So that's why we use like French terms like miroir and mise en place and all these.
Au revoir. What a flash.
Yeah. So it's all their systems, and then like whenever a French guy comes in or starts, like actually when I first started there were like 5 or 6 French chefs and the machines. Then I just started just learning off them, and because that's all their background is.
Yeah.
Like, their parents do that at home. and now it's like throughout all the hotels and restaurants. It's really.
Well, that's I caught up with one of my friends when he came back from France, my friend Tyrone, and he was explaining to me how their workday, French, like how some of them, well, most families go home for lunch, like so they have their kind of days split up.
They can pick up their kids
yeah.
from school as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then they go back to work. But when they come home for lunch, it's not just like a sawisi or so. It's like it's a proper full meal. And they really put in and that's why the French, they say like they're quite relaxed, or they kind of, having red wine for lunch and all that. It's like coming home, going to work, and then coming home having a couple of shots and then going back. I couldn't, because the way that we work as Kiwis, or if we went home at lunch, chances are I'm texting my boss saying I'm not going back to work. You know what I mean? But the way they program, the way they work, that's pretty out of it.
That's probably why they eat late.
Yeah.
You know how they eat late over there?
Yeah. Because they've already had
true.
Yeah.
Because they've already had a big meal. Proper.
Oh, yeah.
Like a proper meal at lunch. So after that, you don't want to. You just want to have something light.
There's a guy from Spain that works with me, and he says, "Man, everyone goes dinner at 10, 11. That's when everyone eats."
Because do they do the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's European. Yeah,
Like be able to sleep.
Yeah.
You know when I know you can't do it now, but when things calm down for COVID, you thinking of going overseas and working?
Oh.
Some overseas experience? Working
Yeah,
in the kitchen?
that's that idea's popped up in my head, but it's just hard with the kids and just leaving them here for someone else's responsibility. It's probably out of the question for me, but it's definitely an experience that I'll.
It's probably cool when kids are older, and then by the time that probably COVID's finished by then.
Yeah.
Chance for you to go overseas, but that's why being a chef, man, that's a job that can take you around the world. No?
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah.
Because that's, it's fun, like we had our friend Charles on, and he's another person like you. He went to chef school, ended up working at some of the top restaurants here in New Zealand, and then he applied for a job to work for Cirque du Soleil, the circus place, and he went out to America, and it's taken him all around the world, all over Europe. Took him to Japan, those kind of places. And chefing is kind of like being a builder as well, like plumber, those kind of trades. You can any place in the world you go to, and if you can, it gives you a chance to travel.
Because like everyone needs to eat, and like even I've come across a few people that are chefs on the big cruise ships.
Yeah.
So they're like cruising around the world for 6 months, and all they're doing is just feeding the. So there's definitely opportunities to travel the world, but it's probably won't be anytime soon with this.
Like you hear different people say, we're not going to open the borders until, if we're lucky, the end of 2022. It's out of it that it's not even a year now, and we talk like this, like we have family overseas. I remember because my dad he always wants to go back to Samoa for at least once a year, so I was going to Samoa all the time, and I took it for granted. But and I feel sorry for my dad because he wants to go back to Samoa, because I know that when he goes, because over here, it really gets either too hot, too cold, and it kind of drains on you. But when my dad hops on the plane and he, when there's doors open when you get to Samoa, mate, it's like I can see them running down the stairs. Something happens. Something happens to our parents when they go back to Sarks, they're home, and I feel sorry for our parents not having a chance to go back, because my dad now he's if you look at our YouTube hours, he watches 12 hours of YouTube a day.
Yeah.
Because that's his only connection he can get to Samoa.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. Like, my parents... Have you been back to Samoa? Have you?
No, not in a long time.
Yeah.
But I can understand where you're coming from, because my parents are they're stuck in Melbourne. Oh, not stuck, they're living there with my my other brothers, and even for my dad's 80th, we were all supposed to go over there and just celebrate him, but that's when the first COVID hit, and then it just couldn't even like refund flight tickets and just things like that. But it would be really nice to, if this can be all lifted, and get to see like family and that.
Yeah, it's sad, because it's also like, not being able to travel. So I remember seeing on the news that people in the Cook Islands got no tourists, and that's the biggest. That's the biggest part. That's what brings in the money.
Maker.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think we're just lucky that Samoa's got some Chinese money. It's keeping the lights on over there, I think. Because when I look at Samoa, man, I'm like, they still look like they're doing pretty good, man. Yeah. When I look at all it's funny with the elections coming up soon, man. The Fast Party and the Prime Minister and that. When I come home, my dad's giving me updates.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting down, nodding my head like, one of the like, mate, you lost me at the first part. This is and it must be cool for your parents. Do you know if your parents have been keeping up to date with what's happening in Samoa?
Oh yeah, that definitely will be. Like even every September, he always buys the videos, the Te Huila festivals.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But that's one thing I have noticed though, because we had my uncle passed away in Samoa last week, so my dad couldn't go. He was gutted because we were really tight, we were really close with him. But all my cousins were live on Facebook, and I was thinking, so they got better data deals than me. Okay, man, one of them streamed it for 3 hours or something. And I was going, mate, they better have a look if there's any 5G towers. And it was clear out, and I was thankful. I was thankful for it, but I was going, I didn't even have that much data to stream something for 3 hours, man. They must be doing something right over there. That's how I know. Like, man, if it wasn't for social media or YouTube and that, we'd have no idea of what's going back on at home in Samoa. So, and I just want to know what deals did you sell or Blue Sky have, because they're coming out with the goods, man.
When you last went to Samoa, were you a chef then?
No. I just honestly, it's just been 2 years in the kitchen, and 1 year and then just studying. So it's all like pretty fresh to me, but at the same time, just rubbing off on all these amazing chefs I cross paths with as well.
It'd be good to, when all the COVID thing, have a holiday in Samoa and check out the food there. And all the restaurants they've got there. They got a few now.
Yeah, I've been watching some how like people
do you watch that guy?
Gemily TV.
Gemily TV?
The
guy. The made to the Palangi.
Yeah.
Man, it's cool.
And he's moved his whole family there, right?
Yeah. But how he went to all the restaurants
from Texas.
Yeah.
So that guy can eat, man.
Wow. When I went, I saw him eat like a whole fish and like he's tried the fish and chips at one of the local places. And I went, I can't even eat that much at Smith and Wong's.
Dude.
When you see him eating, the man's eating, I'm like this. See, if I'm you gotta hand it to him, eh?
Especially like in that heat.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you should be like eating fruit salads and.
Well, there's the one he went with his other mate that he's been doing it with lately, and they went to a place and I think they had soup or some mamoy or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, so it must be about 30 degrees and these guys are eating soup.
Yeah.
I'm like, That's just full ones to the.
Just for the.
But the food is
lights.
good. But then you realize, man, Samoa's got. They do have a bit of
they got.
What are the places that you tried over there? There's that Sales.
Yeah, Sales, but I don't really like that place. There was the one cafe I always went to. They had nice seafood scampi. And man, I always ordered that. It was like cafe by the bus stop, the bus depot thing in town. And I love the at the waterfront that bar. I mentioned before, like they had the nachos with taro chips instead of corn chips. It was taro chips.
And was everything else the same, like sweet and sour?
Yeah, like normal salsa and everything, but except for corn chips, it was taro chips. It went well.
That's pretty clever.
It was good. They've got a nice restaurant owned by these two Australian guys. Sell nice seafood, like marlin and that.
Dude, did you take your pills with you?
My toes are fused, so I cannot get gout anymore.
Yeah, man, that's the biggest thing about the islands and seafood. Like I feel when I hear like some of my closest friends, they have gout and they get it. When they get it, man, like I probably can count more days of them not having gout than, you know what I mean? Like, what do you? Oh, yeah, I got gout. Is there a day that you don't have gout, or even like, and then will say, oh, so I can feel the gout coming on. What happens? I don't know, the wind shifted. I'm like, oh man, I go, shucks, I don't envy you. I feel sorry for the Usos, man. And then you're one.
I know the pain, man, too.
So after that, no more seafood, no more experimenting after that with the.
Because it was pretty much everything that's rich in red meats or like offals and that's what the parfait is. It's chicken livers.
Yeah.
So it was a mix of that and just trying oysters and just other seafood like hapukas and snapper, teriyakis. It's just a mixture of everything. And so I went to the doctors and they just said, man, you need to lay off this.
Yeah.
But it's funny because my body never like asked for these kind of foods.
Yeah.
And I just know to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just never had like my other mates always getting it every other day, and I was like, man, you need to. But I guess I'm just lucky I didn't crave it like him.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, that's the thing. I feel for them because there's food that, seafood. That's you'd think that's the natural.
Yeah.
Something that everyone could enjoy, and then I feel for the brothers and the people that just even get. You smell the oyster. Yeah. So how many kids do you have also?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Yeah.
The oldest is 15, and then my daughter's 10, and my youngest is 5.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So they must enjoy it. Like, do they make requests of you? Like, Dad, can you make this or?
They love pork belly.
Oh yeah.
But it takes a while to cook, so just whenever they request it, I was try and get it ready. But just lately they haven't been asking for it. So and they're just like any other kid really. Just love their chicken nuggets from McDonald's.
Yeah. That's because you want to try and get them to start enjoying other like foods, but I guess like every other kid, they're bombarded with that stuff all the time, eh?
Yeah. I guess if we want to get them into it, like us as their parents have to like lead the way, sort of thing. So we have to start cooking that in the house, but we tried doing that kind of thing, but they just end up not eating their dinners or just going to bed hungry. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think they're coming around it slowly. Just
Have any of them picked up? Like, do they enjoy cooking as well? Are
they were always like at first they were like, oh man, I want to help, but then they were just quickly. It's like, okay, kuanga la onga.
What's the Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi's on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
I'm just looking up restaurants in Samoan. And,
okay.
You said sales. Next to sales is the yacht club. I think there's better food there.
Oh
You
yeah.
should go there and eat.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's not as windy too.
Oh okay.
As sales.
I only saw the sales because I know that guy. That does the reviews, and I remember him going there and meeting the owners. And
I think I saw that episode too.
Yeah.
Here, there's the Edge Marina. That's where the nachos are with the
true, yeah.
the taro chips.
Oh, so see, look, they got ratings too. Samoa's probably the worst place to have ratings because they'll find you, eh? Well, I went to. Oh, did I go to Scalini's?
I did Scalini's.
Yeah.
That was what's his name? The chef. What's the chef's name? He used to own Scalini's and St. Heliers.
Oh, okay.
Then he moved to Samoa.
So he's in Samoa now.
And started
Remember
Scalini's over there.
we walked there, eh?
But
suddenly, because we went to Mission Bay, me, this guy, and my mate asked, we walked there. He said, should we go in? I said, so it's a bit of a walk. I don't want to walk all the way back with a full stomach, mate. You have to go get the car in. All these places, eh?
But the sashimi, that's the big one over there.
That's, the sashimi's fresh, man. That's. So what's the big picture? So are you in it for the? What's the vision for the future, bro?
Yeah, just dreaming big at the moment. Like, I'd love to open up a restaurant. Just need to take these small steps and just enjoy the process. And the
you're
journey
still young
as
in
well.
the game. I mean, 2 years. Is still,
it's really, really young. Anyone out there that's listening, that's in the game, will be like, man, this guy's crazy, but and just gotta just want to serve people, our people, just try and make a name, and just like create a spot for like not only our people but everyone can come in and enjoy like our food, just so it's like you always hear our food and they're like, oh man, it's too fatty and all this and that, but I believe our food can definitely make it on the map in a positive light. And
because that's the thing, like when you say, oh, when you think of Samoan restaurants here, you think of all the Whale Engers and Avondale and Pingakis and all. We serve the same kikipaas, pangipopos, and all that thing. We don't have besides, I know the only one I know of is Meredith's. Like that do that, but it would be so awesome to have places where we can go, especially taking friends, because when they probably look at all our Instagrams and all that, and they look at our mi'ai, and it's all the same stuff, some sui and all that. But it would be so cool to play non-Pacific Island people go, you know what, we do have food that you can, or I think that you'll enjoy.
Yeah.
Because when you give Bailings some sui and all that, they're like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah.
But they're not my saying to it, like, I'll bring some more tomorrow. Oh no, that's you want to make a place, because we are like anything, like cuisine or food. It evolves.
It brings people together, especially our people. We're like,
oh mate,
we can just sit around the table and just eat and just have conversations over just life and everything in general. But it'd be nice to have a somewhere for just a hangout spot.
It's funny you said that. You touched on something that I was just thinking about right now, like comparing Samoa to over here in New Zealand, like the foods and that, like different foods and on Samoan, man, we all eat like kings over there, especially Sundays.
Yeah.
You know, everybody.
Yeah.
In the back in the villages and towns, everyone. You know, everyone they do the umu in the morning and when we eat, we feast, man.
Yeah.
And that's like, wow, that's you can't take that away.
No.
And that's like, man, you want to eat like kings, man.
Yeah.
In Samoa, man. You know.
Because with my sunny tour, you know,
Yeah.
we used to, and yeah, you're right. You know, if kongai on Sundays at villages, sorry, you're getting the best of the best,
Yeah.
man. And plus the produce, the food you're using, it's fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
The fa'is, the kalo, what they're using.
And there's
For
just
the
always
poor
a
that was-
spread, eh?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
poor part that's walking behind you while you're sleeping is probably, probably getting cooked right there, you know. But that's you're right though. We are very, I think it's ingrained in us, you know, kongai. Even for us people here, kongai on Sundays.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way you're going to end the week, but you're going to start the week well because you're going to get,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to get really good mi'ai. You know, I remember my parents. I remember growing up, you know, during the week we just eat, you know, normal food and that. But I remember kongai. I remember waking up with my mum or my dad. They're going to the seafood place down in Henderson. Or they're going to the fruit shop to get the kalo. So you know that after church, the mi'ai is, you know, kongai is going to be, you know, fire. And then for the rest of the week's going to be
Yeah.
But, you know, but Sunday night, you're like, yo, you know.
Was, yeah.
Hey, but that's about it, man, because and it's ingrained in us, like everything you think. If you're somewhere and you're eating a sandwich on a Sunday, you're like, how did my life? What equate did I get up, man? I'm eating the sandwich,
Yeah.
you know, because that's when you know, nah, that's not how you're taught, you know. That'd probably be a good theme, though, eh?
Yeah.
Like having every Sunday, having a kongai, like have people come and say like, this is what this is my twist on, because you know the way when you described how you made the roko.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
mate, you know that's. I never heard you when you said palm sugar. What?
Oh, the brisket and the luau. Oh, damn,
Yeah.
I want to taste that. Man.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds good.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep you informed
Yeah.
next time.
You know, I'm gonna follow you. You know, I'm gonna watch you on Instagram, and as soon as it looks like you're making, just get the message. What are you trying on?
So, man, thanks for coming on our
Yeah,
podcast,
man.
man. I just want to ask one question. It might be off, but were you reckon when that guy shot the gun next door to you guys? Up at what's the one?
Oh no, I was yeah, I heard about it. Actually.
Oh, what's that? Richard, Dr. Ruby.
Dr. Ruby.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you dancing upstairs at the
No,
same
no.
time? But that's another story, man. That I don't know how we ever got. We're getting to that stage. People carrying guns and that, man. Fire up. People just going to try and go have a boogie and score, and next minute shooting up the place. Jeez, man.
Yeah, man. So Spencer, man, come again, man.
Yeah, no, sick
Come
use.
again. Looking forward to your Instagram posts and make us hungry, man.
So yeah, thank you so much, also, man. Like I can't wait for all he says, but your story. It's not just your chefing, but where you came from. You know that story when you said that you were inside, and that's what lit that fire under you, and that. Hopefully, people listening will realize that it's never too late to take that leap of faith. And it's funny because when you said when that person whoever put in the date wrong for you from part-time student to full-time student, they set the wheels in motion, and here you are, man. So, thank you so much for coming on board, also.
Yeah, thank you for putting me on tonight. So, really enjoyed it. Some good chatting.
Wasn't that hard, eh?
No.
Oh, man, definitely got to get you in again, man. Shuttles.
Sure, man.
Cheers, mate.